Okay, so this is the Canon EOS 250D. There's happy children taking fake pictures, a father taking real pictures. And this week on Indy News, Canon announces the 250D, what they claim is the world's lightest DSLR camera, with an articulating screen and 4K video. Plus, a new device that turns your phone or tablet into a wireless HDMI monitor. And while you may have heard of wearable tech, have you ever heard of wearable lights? This company promises a new filmmaking light that you can wear on your wrist. But first, this video is brought to you by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. Hey Indy Mogulers, Griffin here, and today we're starting off with the Canon 250D, a camera that Canon is promising is the lightest DSLR camera, and it shoots 4K video. This is a follow-up to their Wearable SL3, and this one has an articulating screen. It shoots 4K video. They're promising it's the world's lightest DSLR. It weighs 1 pound, and they just released this video about it. Looks like it has all the features you'd expect of a camera. Oh, the kid's not happy with his fake camera anymore. How can his fake camera ever hold up to this with dual pixel? From the video, it looks like they're marketing this primarily as a photography camera, although it has enough features that I'm sure you could use this as a B camera on your filmmaking projects. And it's priced at $600, like a lot of Rebel cameras. This is very affordable. It's an APS-C crop sensor, so a 1.6x crop when you're using your AFS lenses. But you should know that when you shoot 4K video, it actually punches into a 2.6x crop. This is what a lot of sensors do when they're this many megapixels. From a processing standpoint, it just makes sense to not shoot the entire sensor in 4K, but just shoot the middle 4K pixels. So if you shoot in 1080, you get the 1.6 crop. If you shoot in 4K, you gotta lose some of that field of view of your lens. It's got that articulating flip out screen, which is great for videos like this. I have my screen flipped out so I can see myself right now. This will be great for vloggers, YouTube types. And another thing to know about shooting in 4K, you are limited to 23.98 frames per second. And weirdly, you don't get 23.98 frames per second in 1080. You get some other modes like 30 frames a second, but if you want to shoot 24, it has to be in 4K, and if you're shooting 4K, it has to be 24. Another weird catch of shooting in 4K on this camera is that you lose the great dual pixel autofocus, that nice dual pixel autofocus with the eye tracking that works in 1080, but not in 4K. I mean, some of these cameras, it's just so processor intensive to shoot 4K that they have to drop out some other features when you're using it. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. But even with its limitations, my feeling is that any modern camera that can shoot 4K video is probably gonna look pretty good, especially if you're out in nice light. So this could certainly get the job done, and at $600, just like a lot of the old Rebel cameras, this is a pretty affordable camera. So it could be a great entry-level camera for amateur filmmakers, or a nice B camera for your projects. Next up, this product seems pretty cool to me. I may need this. This is called the Cine Eye, and it promises to turn your phone or tablet into a wireless monitor. There's a lot of times when it's nice to have a wireless monitor. In fact, right now I am using the wireless functionality of my Panasonic GH5 to see what I'm doing and control recording. But this has some limitations. Sometimes I lose signal, it's not the greatest setup, and it's really low resolution. Plus, I can't plug in more than one device. So the idea of buying a true wireless system where I can send the HDMI out from the camera to a bunch of monitors and maybe give it to director over here, a follow focus guy over here, that sounds really appealing. But these systems can often cost thousands of dollars, thousands of dollars for the receiver, thousands of dollars for the transmitter. So the idea of someone disrupting this with a much cheaper option is very interesting. The Cine Eye is a small handheld device that has an internal battery. You can get up to 4 hours of battery life out of this thing, and then just plug it in via USB-C to charge it back up again. It has a 1/4-20 screw on the bottom, so you can mount this thing on your rig, on your camera, somewhere else. And then it uses an HDMI cable. So you just take the HDMI out from your camera into the Cine Eye and it transmits it. Then you just download the Accsoon CineEYE app to your phone or tablet, and you can send the signal to up to 4 devices at the same time. One thing to know is the latency, the lag of sending that signal across this system. A normal monitor plugged in via HDMI has an 80 millisecond lag. This on iOS should have a 140 millisecond lag, but this sounds like something I might actually want because it transmits 1080 video, so I'm getting good quality. Hopefully the transmission signal is better than the built-in Wi-Fi in my camera, and I can send it to up to 4 people at the same time. It retails for $219, and I may have to check one out. Finally, if you are looking to travel light, you don't have a lot of room to pack, but you need cinematic quality lighting, you might check out this new wrist wearable light from Spiffy Gear. Spiffy Gear, I'm familiar with them because they once sent me their specular lighting system. It's kind of a modular lighting system that's pretty cool. When you do a lot of run and gun shooting, especially documentary kind of things, you know that sometimes you just need some extra light. Maybe you need a little eye light to make things pop. And maybe you're shooting with prime lenses, you don't need it to be super bright, you just need something with good quality light that's small and portable. There are plenty of small LED products on the market, but I've never seen one that slaps onto your wrist like one of those classic slap bracelets. The Lumee comes in 2 versions. One is a bicolor that you can dial from 2700 Kelvin up to 6500 Kelvin, and the other one is an RGB light, so you can use it as an accent light with any color you want. You can dim them up and down in power, and the RGB one says that it includes some lighting effects like red, blue, flashing police lights. Spiffy claims that the built-in battery should last for an hour, and then you can recharge it with micro USB. You can tell just from the size of this thing and the battery life is an hour, this is not going to be the most powerful light. I imagine it's not going to compete with sunlight. So only in controlled lighting situations would you maybe be able to use this as an accent light, or I think it could definitely be your primary key light if nothing else is going on. But probably a nice thing to just throw in your backpack and have available in a pinch. Spiffy says these are going to come out this month, May 2019, and will sell for $50 a piece. Once again, we would like to thank the kind folks over at Squarespace for sponsoring today's episode and giving us the ability to create our redesigned website, indymogul.com. With their award-winning 24/7 customer service, a plethora of easy-to-use templates, and the ability to transfer our domain into Squarespace, we had every tool we needed in the Squarespace suite of products. So head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you are ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/indymogul for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments if there's other news you heard about this week in the filmmaking world that you want to share with the Indy Mogul audience.